morning, traders. I'm Dennis Dick.
And I'm Joel L. Connon. Welcome to Premarket Info.
On today's show, we've got Friday Quadruple, which options expiration, futures expiration, could be an exciting day. We've got earnings from Oracle, Darden Restaurants, and KB Homes. Apple, the iPhone 5 is on sale right now, started at 8 a.m. And we're going to look at some key levels for this quadruple witch opening.
The quadruple witch here, it's the stock index futures, the options on the stock index futures, stock options, and single stock futures. I don't know how many people are trading those.
They're
but
all expiring here today.
All expiring here today on the close. The cash, the S&P on the open. Should be an exciting day. I mean, not quite as exciting as they used to be, but we certainly have some good levels to focus on in the S&Ps. First of all, we've had 4 closes, Dennis. Can you believe it? 4 closes between 14.53 and 14.54. When's the last time you saw that?
So you're telling me that's an important level to focus on here.
Oh, my Lord. 14.53.50 is the low. It's right in the middle of it. That's major support. As long as we hold that, we are poised to go back up to 14.68, which has been the high of the move. Just a quick note, the Globex high currently is 14.60 and a quarter. We had a double top earlier in the week at 14.59, so we got to get through that level, and then we're going straight to 14.68.
And just for a statistic for you guys who are looking back at statistics, I actually just took this off CNBC. They were saying the last 8 quadruple witches, we have ended up positive on the day. So if obviously we end up positive today, it would be the 9th in a row. So for you guys who like to follow the trend, that would dictate that we're probably going to have an up day today at the close. Let's talk about the Oracle earnings from last night here. That was the big market driver. We talked about that trend line down at 32, and it was pretty volatile after the bell. It actually chopped around quite a bit there on the report.
Yeah, you did. Immediately on the report, you got a spike down to 31.05.
31.05, is that right? I never noticed it. It went that low, eh?
Yeah. What, you would have sold it there?
I had no idea that it went down to 31.05 because when I was looking, it was trading the 31s. I just had no idea it went that low. We're now basically flat here at 32.35, so we're up 9 cents from the close yesterday. So this overall trend is still intact because well, on the charts here we don't include the pre-market because you get some crazy stuff that happens pre-market and after hours. So on the overall intraday chart, the trend is still your friend here and it seems to be holding up. If it started cutting really below that 32, that's where the trend would probably be violated.
Yeah, I was just going to say I was going to disagree with you.
Okay.
31, I mean, it's obviously still an uptrend, and I will allow you to draw a trend line in there once again. I think you do that same one in yesterday.
Yeah, I just left it in there.
Okay, good. Looking at, first of all, that pre-market low down to 31. Look at those lows that you had back at the end of August, 31.13, 31.16, 31.22. Right. So that's super major support. Obviously, we're a $1.26 away from there. You do have a low here at 32.19. The close was there. Someone was a little worried on the close. I'd say below this, I'd go a little bit higher, below 32.20. I think you have to let go of this stock and perhaps take a look at the short side.
Couple other ones just reporting here too this morning. Smaller KB Homes, though, can sometimes be an indicator for your overall home builders. They actually posted a surprise profit of 4 cents. But the stock is trading down. It was trading down lower before, so it's funny. You get these head fakes, and it looks like it's a decent report, but then the stock turns around and rolls over. It's only down 11 cents now, though, but I seen that down there in the 12 handle. How low did it get there, Joel?
It only got to 12.76.
12.76.
Yeah, so that's that is out of yesterday's range, but after you hit that level, you did get a bounce up to 13. Here you have a lower price stock, but you do have a decent formation here. 3 highs in the KB Homes here between 13.16 and 13 and a quarter. You have a pop above that up to 13.60, 13.65. If they really like the earnings and they take that through 13 and a quarter, Perhaps we get that 13, 16. Coming back on the downside, I would hold out on the longs unless we broke below 1280.
I see. I like this. I like the chart here. We've had the consolidation. You had the pre-market shakeout here, and it's trying to hold up. I'd love to see it get above that level that you just talked about, that 13 and a quarter, and then try to make a run for that 13.65. So if I'm playing this, I'm watching the open, seeing how it opens, and those are the reference points that I'm using. We do have Len that's going to report on Monday as well. Another one in the home building sector, Lennar, and this chart has been fabulous here, Joel. If you bring that one up, it's just been marching here. It's right up there, approaching a new 52-week high once again. Stock has just been off to the races.
Well, you sure got something that looks like a top there, don't you?
Yeah, 3-4
Look
times.
at all those highs there between 36.50 and 75. Someone's trying to wiggle out of some stock there. And the symmetry that you have on the upside, you also have on the downside too. You have several lows in the 35, 40 to 50 area. So this thing's going to break out one way or another. And since everything breaks out to the upside,
it's winding up for something.
yeah, I haven't looked at this chart in a while. And boy, these home builders, man, if you were using them as an indicator for the overall market, holy smokes, they have just been on a run, and
They really have.
I don't know where they're building homes at.
Yeah, they really have. It's counterintuitive. Like, exactly. They keep saying there's trouble in the housing sector still, but not when they've done these home builders. They've come back quite nicely, a lot of them, and they've been leaders all year. A couple other ones, but let's go on and just take a look at Apple here, because Apple has...
What's there to look at, Dennis? What's there to look
this
at?
700 area has just been like a magnet here the last 4 or 5 days, but didn't it do this when it went up through the 400 and through the 500? Not so much the 600, but I can remember it breaks it and then it kind of hangs out for a while, shakes a few people out, and then eventually continues on its happy march. The iPhone 5 did just go on sale today. They're lined up around the block to get those things. Stock is actually trading up in the pre-market, up $4.70 at 703.40. So can it get away from that 700 and start, or is it going to just pull back to 700 again?
My first question is, why would you line up outside an Apple store when my wife ordered it a week or so ago, and they actually sent her an email last night saying she may get it today? So
They want to be the first. They want to be the first.
Yeah,
to
they
get
want
it.
to be the first to get their iPhone. I'm thinking of getting one, so this could be the top.
This could
in
be
Apple.
the top. If Joel's
Yeah,
coming in and buying, it could be the top.
Couple, really only one number here to look at, and that's the pre-market high, 704 in a Q. We hit that not too long ago. That coincides very nicely with this former old-time high here at 704 or 703.99, excuse me. So, boy, if it breaks above that 704, it's probably going to 750.
You're calling for a breakout there. Google has just continued its march. It's continuing its march here this morning as well. The stock keeps making new highs every single day, doing it again today. 732.50 is where it's trading right now after closing at 728.11. I feel like this thing's going to get up there and make a new all-time high here eventually. What is that, 747.24? That's the all-time high back in 07? Is that right?
Yep.
I feel like that's where it's marching to. I feel like it's got the 16 points or 15 points left in it to go up there and test that level.
Yeah, I mean, what else is in there to look at, basically? I mean, you have the high from yesterday at 731.38. We've already taken that out in the pre-market. Not a ton of volume associated with this, just hanging out at 732.50. If you're playing this from the long side, you get a break below yesterday's high, 731.38. You could have some air in this thing down to the close at 728.12. And Dennis, really, there's nothing on the upside until the all-time high of 747.24.
Looking at these three horsemen here, let's look at Facebook too. We've been tying these all together.
You're going to put Facebook in the same category?
It is in the last month. This has been your best performer in the last month.
Hold on. Let me get back on my chair.
This has been your best performer in the last month, though. It has been on a heck of a run here.
I told
since
you.
Everybody threw in the towel at 17. It has just been the favorite of the market. It continues to march. That's up 34 cents here again. Seems to have a day where it breaks out, day it pulls back. Day it breaks out, day it pulls back. Yesterday kind of, broke out the day before, kind of pulls back a little bit here. Can it continue that trend and start breaking out and get above that 23.50 area?
Yeah, you got two tops, 23.24, 23.37. You had the gap down back on actually when they met earnings at 24.54. So it's trying to sneak into that gap area. As we've discussed before, when there's nothing on the chart going down, there's nothing on the chart going up, and you have a gap from 24.54 to 26.73.
Mickey D's raised the dividend there last night. That's why the stock's trading up a little bit here in the pre-market. 93.30 after closing 93.15. So just nibbling up. But here's a stock I can remember back in August we were talking about that 86 level, and that was the bottom. It has marched straight up back since then, now making new or approaching 4 or 5 month highs here, Joel. You got that high from back on July the 19th at 93.32, but we do appear that we might open up above that area with this and yesterday's high 93.45. So, and then you start to get into this whole area too, just like we were talking about the Facebook, where we ran down from that 97 area down to 93 pretty quickly back in May. So we say they move down quickly, they can move up quickly. Is McDonald's poised to break out here?
Well, looking in the pre-market, it is trading at that critical level, 93.32. Got a spotty tick up there to 93.50, but that looks like an on-lot. That's sticking out on the chart like a sore thumb here, above 93.32. I would not want to be short this stock. It could be off to the races. The top of the gap day in this issue was at 94.87. So you got some room. I wouldn't want to be short if this thing busts above 93.30.
Let's just move on here to a couple of the upgrades and downgrades here. There's some key ones from Citigroup. They're upgrading MasterCard, which is trading higher here, and that's a stock that just does not want to come down. It just continues to run like we had a lot of consolidation from May till August, and then just the beginning of September, right? It just came with their buying shoes on. This thing was at 420 just a few weeks ago. It's now trading almost 460 here, and the pre-market trading up here at 457.53 on the Citigroup upgrade. Just stock has just been marching.
Pre-market high 458.38. That doesn't even take it through yesterday's high at 459.32. So I expect to see some resistance initially at 459.32. You also have a nice whole number like 460 to take a look at. But looking at the all-time high, it's quite a ways above that at 466.98. These $450 stocks, they're tough to call.
They're hard to trade too, like intraday, because there usually has a 40 or 50 cent spread on the MasterCard. So you basically got to pay that spread really to get in the stock. It's very hard to get hit on your limits, which we've complained about before. And the whole thing with the article I wrote yesterday on the site, they're stealing executions. You can read that if you want. But yeah, it's very difficult to get filled on a stock like this on your limit. So a lot of times what ends up happening is you end up paying the spread. And I don't like paying 50-cent spreads, even if they are in $450 stocks. Citigroup also upgrading Altria, which is symbol MO. Stock is trading up pretty good in the pre-market here. We're up at 33.99 after closing at 33.61. The trend here has not been, your friend, really, since it topped out there in August. It's above 36, has been moving straight down, and it's always been the play to sell the rallies here. Is that going to be the play here? Once again, you've got this kind of downtrend going down, too. I can draw that for Joel if he wants to take a look at that.
You did have a high at 34.13, so if this does sneak above the $34 level, I wouldn't get too carried away as you have the high from September 12th at 34.13. Above that, you got a gap area, believe it or not, in this stock up to 34.35. But just have to see what happens at this $34 level. Is there any size there in the book?
I don't see much, but there's probably some institution kicking around. It has been up there for a few weeks, so it's probably some institutions wouldn't mind lightening up. And just judging from the pre-market action, trading at 33.99 right now, it looks like it may run into a few sellers to start actually at 34. Obviously gets above there. We can talk about Joel's numbers. International paper getting upgraded at Deutsche Bank. It's trading up here as well. It's bid up. The trade up to 34.90 last night. I didn't even see that upgrade last night, so I'm not sure if somebody got tipped off last night that was getting upgraded this morning or not, or if that upgrade did indeed come out last night. But it's a trade up to 34.90, up 20 cents, and now it's bid at 35.15. So it is bid up here. And last time they got upgraded, I can remember they had a pretty decent run off it. So it does open up here and back into once you get above 35.
Didn't someone try and take them out around 31 or 32? Didn't maybe
there was some rumors or something, but I can't.
No, didn't Temple Inland Steel? I don't know.
Yeah, there was something to do. Yeah, but that was a while ago, like last year. There was something.
Yeah, well, I can remember.
Didn't they buy them? Are they still around? Was it a TIN?
I think they. Yeah, maybe.
I think that's what it was. They did have something with going on. I think.
Well, I guess that merger was good for them. Anyways, you got big resistance here at this $35 level. 34.80 was yesterday's high. So if you're playing it from the long side, give yourself at least down to the close here, just under the close at 34.70. You did have a top at 34.92 back on the 17th. But above that, you got a gap area. Boy, all these charts look like the same, you know.
And that's opening above 35. I'll tell you right now, on international paper, on a Deutsche Bank upgrade here with the S&P being up $5, it's bid at 35.15, and nobody's even sniffed to hit him. I think it opens probably in the mid 35s on this upgrade.
Woo.
That's my call on this one. I think it might actually fill that gap right on the opening print. Obviously, depends on what the S&P futures do in the next hour as well. And always you have these crazy opening imbalances on these quadruple options expiration days as well. But I still think it might open up in the mid 35s.
Gap's up to 35.39. Should we go? I don't think it's going to open that high. Should we do our traditional dollar bet?
So you're going to call the open below 35.39? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
I'm going to call above 35.39. Yeah, I'll do the traditional
really
dollar bet. I think it opens up above 35.30. I'm writing that one down. You're going to owe me $1 on this one.
Lottery tickets today too.
Joel thinks it opens below 35.39. I think it opens above 35.39. I think it opens like 35.50. And did you see my call there on the CAG yesterday? Remember I was saying I think it's going to open at 27. It opened at 27 right on the button. I called that open right on the button. So you got to give me some props for that one.
Yeah. Because you were short it, you were praying it was going to open at 27 so you could scratch it.
No, actually, I did cover. I had covered it right away on that one. I shorted it when it initially spiked, and then it started trading so much volume, I got scared. So I shorted it at the 27 area, and then it traded so much volume that I'm like, man, it's going to open up there, and it could actually even open above there. I was starting to think, so then I covered it. But either way, I would have scratched it on the opening print anyways. But let's look at a few resistance levels, just because it is quadruple, which there will be some stocks opening kind of crazy, so we need to really focus on your levels on days like this. I want to focus on this Procter & Gamble off the bat. There's been some huge institutional selling pressure at 69.75, even more in the 69.90s. It gets really thick up there, so this thing starts opening up 15 to 20 cents. It's got sellers littered through the book. Now, sometimes they like to climb up through these sellers, but just looking off the hop, I think that whole 69.75 is your first area resistance, and then I'm going to look at 69.90.
Yeah, I mean, you're opening up in the size here. This thing's had a 10-point run. I'd take a look. I mean, if it busted through all those levels and got above 70, but
that's your bogey. Yeah, exactly. That 70 level is going to be where you're really littered with size. So I see sellers 69.75. I see institutional sellers 69.85. I see them at 69.90. I see them at 69.95, and I see a boatload at 70. So obviously, if it takes all those levels out and gets above 70, then you can maybe get bullish the stock. But I think you are going to open up into resistance. You're probably going to open up. I'm going to call the opening on this one 69.74, 69.75 area.
Okay, just quickly, we'll go over the resistance. ExxonMobil looks like it's going to open above a double top here, 91.69 and 91.75. Just want to point out for our traders, we talk a lot about old support, new resistance. We had that breakdown yesterday early in the morning. I was sitting at that 90.05 level, hoping they would swoop down
You
to
want to know
90.
something? I was too. I had my bid out there. It's funny you say that. I was sitting out there too, bidding right around 90.06 or something, but it only got down to 90. What was low? Just in front of us.
90.09.
Oh nine, yeah. So that sucks because I was looking at it too. It's like that 90 is a big level. I had my bid out there. You had your bid out there. Neither of us got the stock. Got to pay
That's all
up.
you needed.
Got
They
to
had
pay up.
two 500,000 share bids, and
Yeah.
the HFT guys are, that's enough for them to lean
And
on.
500 shares, yeah,
Okay.
500 shares each, and you can't get filled. Sad.
One stock that doesn't have resistance up for a while here is IBM. I don't think you have to worry about this 208 level. You had a double top 207.88, 207.99, so we'll move on from that one. How about Mr. Softy breaking out yesterday?
Nice run, nice breakout. We've talked about that 31 area forever, so maybe finally Microsoft going to get away from that number. It's not trading up in the pre-market though. It's just sitting here flat 31.45. Traded 37,000 shares here too. So yeah, it is pretty open though. If you can start to get above here, you had that one top going back into May 11th at 31.54. We get above there, then you can maybe run to 32, but that's probably your next bogey.
Yeah, this would be one if you wanted to, hopefully, get a bid, put it 31.40, and maybe after the open to get a quick sweep down and get you long, and then, give yourself, 15 cents or so, and you could be getting out at $32. What about GE at 22.50? You
It's
have some
huge, yeah. Enormous institutional selling pressure at 22.50 here. See 350,000 shares up there. You can be pretty dang sure your high frequency traders are perched in front here, probably littering the book. If that thing opens, and you get some crazy volume sometimes off the bat, so it could take it out on the opening print at 22.50. But if it opens under 22.50, that's your initial resistance.
Just one note on that. It went ex-dividend yesterday for 17
Came right
cents.
back up to.
That's a nice performance there for General
Yep.
Electric. What about AT&T? You got the 52-week and 5-year high at 38.28. We hit 38.11 yesterday. 6-day high at 38.21. You got any size kicking around
Nah,
there?
I don't see much up there, but there's probably always somebody sitting perched at a 52-week high, so it'd probably run into a little bit of trouble in that 38.20 area. It'd have to get stuck in above 38.30 for me to get bullish the stock.
Okay, in the last two stocks of Big Ten, Wells Fargo just sitting here unchanged on the day. Just ignored the rally yesterday. You have a formation where it closed right near the high of the day. It was also a low from 2 days ago, so I think above 35 and a quarter. You got some nice room to run up here in Wells Fargo. Really, I don't see any major resistance up to the $36 level. And is there a lot of size kicking around at 39 in Coca-Cola, or are we too far away?
Oh, let's go check it out. Because I'm looking, I see the high you're looking at there from 4 days ago. I can't quite see that level, but I'd imagine there is something there, just because we had that high. Just trade ticked up to 38.85 actually, but we did have that high from September 18th right on the button at 39. So it makes me think there's some institution sitting with an order. They're probably holding it down. So 39 be your bogey on this one too.
And the two highs after that were 81 and 87. So Coca-Cola opening into resistance. All right, well, the SPOOs are just kind of sitting here just off the high of the day. Above 14.59, things are wide open. We come back anywhere near the close here, 53 to 54 area is huge support. Do you have any closing comments for our traders here on this quadruple witch?
Just expect the opening prints to be a little bit wild. They usually are on these days, so expect a little bit of added volatility off the hop and into the close.
That's our show for today, folks, and we'll be back with you on Monday.